Hi everyone, we are live here in Hong Kong with our real talk from woman to woman. I hope and I pray that you are safe. We had this typhoon number 10 super typhoon today, and we pray that all of you are safe, you who are here in Hong Kong. If you need some assistance, if you went through difficult day and you need some assistance, we would like to be able to help you. Just let us know. You can write here on the comments below if you need any assistance, or you can private message us. All right, so we are giving continuation to this brand new series of Ruth. We are reflecting on the book of Ruth, and today in the morning God has put in my heart that we should do a little revision of what we spoke in the last 2 days. So last Monday we started this series. We were speaking about Naomi's husband that took his family and went to Moab because there was a famine. There was no bread in Bethlehem, so he decided to look for a better life in Moab. Now, Moab was an ungodly place. And the thing is, one of the things we spoke um, last Monday was that although they went there for a better life and they accomplished that, but they remained there. And that's where God today moved me to speak about, because look at that. Um, in the introduction of this video, I wrote there is a way of prospering without God, right? In the church, you have heard we have a meeting called Prosperity with God. But there is also a way to prosper without God. And all you need for you to prosper without God is you have to have some talent, you have to be to work hard, and you have to have discipline in saving, in investing in the right way, not go by hearsaying, not go by trends and schemes and scams, let's say like that. And then there is a way for you to prosper without God. And in the world, we can see many people that are successful without God. But prosperity without God is, there is a limit to that. And we saw this in the story of Naomi. So Naomi, her family, her husband moved to Moab, there for a better life. After they accomplished what they wanted, they stayed there. Then eventually she lost her husband. She lost both her children, right? Both her sons. And then she found herself in a bitter place. She became bitter because of that. And then she started to think that God was the one that was bringing a problem into her life. Let me put here in the Bible. Let's see what she said. Sorry, my internet is a bit slow. I think everybody is like that, right? But look what it says. Okay. Verse 8. And Naomi said to her two daughters-in-law, go, return each to her mother's house. The Lord deal kindly with you as you have dealt with the dead and with me. The Lord grant you that you may find rest each in the house of your of her husband. So she kissed them, and they lifted up their voices and wept. And they said, "Surely we will return with you." And then I'm going to skip here, verse 13. It says, "Would you wait for them till they were grown? Would you restrain yourselves from having husbands? No, my daughters, for it grieves me very much for your sakes that the hand of the Lord has gone against me." So she had this wrong idea that um, God was inflicting the pain in her. But you see, that's prosperity without God. When you prosper with God, when you know why, you are successful, you don't abandon the faith. You are faithful to God in the little and in the much. You know that God is the one that is prospering you. So when an evil day comes, right, you know that God will bring you out of that situation. But when you prosper without God, when you work and you achieve things out of your wisdom and strength, it can come to a moment when a negative situation happens that you become bitter like her and you start to blame God for the wrong that happens. So there is a very big difference. Prospering with God and prospering without God. You can see, I wrote here some notes. I would like just to go back for me not to forget. Okay, so we can see sometimes we have people that take certain actions because the time requires them. For example, you came to work abroad. Some of you wrote there last time. You came out from one city, province to a city, and others you came from one country into another, and you, that was what the circumstances required of you. And maybe the circumstances until now requires that of you. But it's not for you to remain there, right? So sometimes people, they come to Hong Kong, they have money. Money is not the problem. They get the money. But because they are getting the money without God, they are prospering without God. In the same way the money comes in, the money goes out. They spend or with friends, sometimes with addictions, sometimes with emergencies. There is always an emergency. So the person cannot retain the prosperity, right? So there are people that come go out looking for a better life because the situation requires them to do that. But this is supposed to be temporary. So uh, Elimelech going to Moab was supposed to be a temporary fix, a temporary, just for a moment. Was not supposed to be for a very long time. Even because you have seen that this happened to the children of Israel as well there in Egypt, right? When they were there, when they were there too long, Joseph was blessed, and then he passed on the blessing to their family, to Jacob and the brothers, to all the tribes. And then after, what happened? They became too comfortable in that place, and they end up forgetting about God. And then there was a time that they became slaves. How did they, from living in the best part of Egypt, Goshen, with a lot of place for cattle, how did they go from there to slaves? was because far away from God, they started to get used to the laws, to the what everybody was doing, and they became content with that, and until they became slaves. So I see this situation with Naomi. You know, I think maybe they got too comfortable there, too comfortable. Now they were prospering. She had her husband there, the children, and everything was smooth until not. And that's when you see that she did not invest in her spiritual life all this time that she was there in Moab, away from her homeland. What happened? She started to forget who God was. And that's why now she's blaming God for her misfortunes. Now, sometimes it can happen to us, it can happen to you. Maybe it's happened to you right now. You were seeking God, you were faithful to God, and then you had an opportunity to make a quick money, right? You were doing, you start to do OT, and the OT paid you a lot of money, and then you start to say like this: today I don't go to the church, I do OT, right? I have an extra income, and you forget about God. So you are prospering, you are getting money, but without God. So everything you do without God is not lasting. Mark what I say. Whatever you do without God is not lasting. You can be successful one day or 2 days, but you can be sure your distance from God, like the distance that Naomi had from her homeland, your distance from God, from the things of God, from the thoughts of God, it will catch up with you, just like it caught up with Naomi. Do you understand? So there is one thing: you prosper with God, you will go through difficult moments, but you don't forget who God is. And then you turn the tables. God with you can make you turn the table and make you successful. But if you are alone in a difficult moment, you get desperate. So, and now I'm thinking about someone in the church. She had been coming to the church, never had that. She had a very high wages. Uh, uh, the employer paid her very high wages, 2-3 times more than what was in the contract. And then she decided to go and do overtime. Suddenly, I forgot within how long, but very short period, she never had debts. She became in debt, earning more money, but that's when she got herself into trouble financially. So you see, the problem is not you working hard. You can work hard, but success comes when you have a covenant with God and you do not neglect your eternity for a little bit extra income, more extra income. You know what I mean? So Jesus said, no one can serve two masters, because or you please one and you displease the other. No one can serve God and Mammon. Mammon is was considered the god of money, prosperity. Jesus was saying you cannot serve God and serve Mammon, the money. Because if you serve the money, you will displease God, you will leave God, you will despise God. And if you serve God, you do not serve money. You don't serve Mammon. You serve God. And when you serve God, God makes you successful in everything you do. So prospering is not wrong, but it is wrong when it's not done with God. So that's what I would like to leave you today. Let me check here the weather app. How is the weather app? Still typhoon number 8. Well, in my phone still appears typhoon number 8. Please connect with us in our Wednesday Bible study online that will start in about 45 minutes. Okay? May God bless you. Please stay safe. If it's not safe for you to leave your house, just participate in the Lord's Supper, participate in the service at home. Don't endanger yourself. Okay, that's all we have time for today, and we'll see you again tomorrow. One more thing, just nearly I forgot. I would like to invite you for our Godly meeting. Just take a note there that on October 4 and October 5 at 2 p.m. we are going to have our Godlywood self-help meeting. Make sure you speak to your members, the members in your groups. Invite them. This meeting is not to be missed. Okay? It's done specially for you by Mrs. Cristiane Cardoso. Don't miss it. Okay? That's all for today. I'll see you tomorrow with our real talk and the love therapy. Bye-bye now. Has this program been of help for you? Feel free to share with someone who also will benefit from watching it. You feel free to press the share button, and if you want, you can like it and leave your comments below. God bless.